All right, our part two of our probability unit, we're going to be looking at probability and chance. And this should be a lot smoother of a transition since we're transitioning out of trig. So let's cover a few questions here on your assignment, and that way it should give you kind of a roadmap to follow while finishing up the rest of your assignment. So first off, we'll start off with number one, and it says how many pieces are there total in the spinner, and you can just count these one by one. And as we can see, we've got one. Let me add mine. Pick a color here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 7 pieces total. All right, and that's going to be big when we're making our calculations, because when we're doing this, your total typically is going to be your denominator. And notice that we counted each color as its own individual color. We didn't say, okay, there's a 1 and grouped all white pieces. We gave each white piece, gray piece, and darker gray piece its own number. So that's going to be important when identifying your total number. All right. So what they're asking for is number 2. If you spun the spinner one time, what is the probability it would land on a gray piece? All right. Well, let's look at how many gray pieces are there. And we have 1, 2, and 3 gray pieces. So we have 3 gray pieces. So what we need to do is take what they're asking for and put the gray, we have gray as 3, over our total. And when we put that over there, we get 0.428. All right, now we're just going to convert that to a percentage by moving that decimal over 2 spots. And we get 42.8%. All right. All right, now moving on to the next section of your assignment. It's going to be similar to the counter, the spinner that we did. And we know that a die is 6-sided. So that means my total for my denominator here is going to be that 6. All right. And if they were asking us, if you were to roll the dice one time, what is the probability it will land on a 1? Okay. Well, there's only one side with a 1. So we're going to say 1 over the total number of sides, which is 6. And we do 1 divided by 6. We get 0.166. And we're going to convert that to a percentage by moving that decimal over 2 spots. And we get 16.6%. All right, so as you can see, we're kind of looking at what are the chances of us being able to predict what it's going to land on. All right, and the last section, again, is going to roll just like you did with the spinner. And if we look at the first question is they want to know the total. How many shapes are there total? And if we look at all the shapes, we've got 4 going across and we've got 5 going down. We know that there are 20 shapes total. So we're going to use that 20 shapes total as an example. I'm sorry, not as an example, but as your denominator for solving the probability questions that they're asking you. And some of these, like 10 through 12 and 7 and 8, you're going to have to kind of think outside the box a little bit. And you're going to do the same thing with your fractions, but you're going to have to kind of pay attention to what they're looking for and what they're asking you.